It's Stock 09 back to the channel. We're currently waiting on parts for the Gbody build. I had ordered the wrong converter bolts, and the parts store didn't have the ones I needed, in stock. I could have went to the hardware store somewhere and got some, but I figured I'd just, rather do it right the first time. So I'm waiting on converter bolts. I have the, as you can see right here, I have the drive shaft in. I just gotta go get that little kit, the clamp, to clamp everything on. But the drive shaft fits fine. Up in the transmission, put the yoke all the way in, and then adjusted everything to the back. So it's in, but we got a little play right there. I got my transmission mount on. I'm gonna have to run and grab a bolt to go from the bottom down there up to the mount. It's got 3 different slots on it. So once we get that done, I'll go ahead and attach, my shifter and all that stuff. There's my cable right there. So I'll go ahead and attach all that, get all that shit cleared up. I gotta do the fittings on the transmission, and along with a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, the problem we're also running into right now is that header. If you look, you see it's off from the cross member. Now, they say there's a couple ways I could do this. I could either I could heat it up and try to, take a bar and try to pry it, but I don't want to get too close to that oil filter right there. As you can see, it's pretty close. So I'm thinking a fab man's gonna have to come out and bend it back this way, and then just fab up the rest of my exhaust, which I have a complete 2.5-inch exhaust. I already made it up, and as you can see, there's the hangers and so forth back there, well, on one side, which ain't gonna be nothing to get some more. So that's the dilemma that we're facing. Of course, put the radiator in and all that stuff, but I just want to get all the big stuff with the transmission situated first. Go ahead and tie everything up. So that brings me to the question everybody asks me is how much I've spent on this build from front to back to get it up and running, cranking and running, along with all the accessories and everything I bought. I'm right at $4 grand. $4,000. That's not including the car. If you must know, I paid $1,500 from the car from Shane Turner, Mr. Popeye. Gave $1,500 for the car, $900 for the motor, $250 for the cam, and then the rest adds up over time, just depending on how pretty you want to get with it. If you want all name brand parts, if you want to do a budget build, or if you got stuff laying around. There were a couple things that were given to me on this car. One was the exhaust, which is in the back. I don't feel like walking back there, but that was given to me from Michael Myers. The front bracketry on the motor that came from my buddy D that you guys been seeing on the channel that's helping me build it. The converter came from Scott Parrott. Now, believe it or not, that converter is 2025 now, so that converter is 10 years old. That is the converter out of the original brown steel that I had 10 years ago. So it was given to me free. The transmission was given to me free by the Junkyard Boys, Matt Steele. The fuel pump and the shifter was given to me by Shane Turner. Thank you. The cow hood we have right here, Shane Turner. Some of the lines came from Solo, the one that owns Gotta Be Quicker Than That. The radiator came out of my old turbo F-body. That's an F-body radiator. If I don't know if I said it, but the shifter came from Shane Turner as well. The headers came from, I don't know if you guys remember the great cutlass on my channel, Smoke. They came from him. So yeah, a lot of, I'm not gonna say they're big parts, but they play a big part in the build. Yeah, the oil pan came from my buddy D, because the one we had, we were having issues with it. The cam came from the Shiflets, Cole Shiflet. He's the one that owns the Ice Spice car. Trailblazer intake came from my buddy. So yeah, there was a lot of budgeting when it came to this, but as you can see, there's, man, you get up into $4,000 and $5,000 on a build. I mean, it really ain't a budget no more, you know, once a couple thousand is being spent. But yeah, everything front to back was right at close to $4,000, and I'm still not done. For those that want to go fuel injection and they think fuel injection is costly, it just depends on what you're doing. If you go the Holly unit, the Terminator, yes, it is expensive. I think now, if you get the one without transmission control, it's $1,200. If you get it with transmission control, it's $1,800 if I'm not mistaken. But I'm using a cheap harness off of eBay and a 0411 PCM off eBay, which the harness and the ECU, I think I gave like $200 for all of it, and the car fired up right on the dime. I'll eventually want to do the Holly, the Terminator X, because I eventually plan on changing the transmission. I want to do the overdrive trans. I want to do either the Holly dash or the Autometer Phantom dash. I kind of like how those look. Clean the engine bay up. Eventually go Holly high ram, or you know, something that'll give it a little bit more, you know, mile an hour on the other end. But yeah, for those asking questions, I am right at $4,000 in this car without purchasing it. If we purchase it and some other stuff, you'd be right at $6,000 with the car. Hold on, $5,400, including the car and all the parts that I've done. $5,400. Without, it is 37, right at $3,800. That's all parts, all accessories, O2 sensors, NOx sensors, gaskets, oil, throttle cable brackets, fuel line, fuel hose, all the stuff that I did buy for my fueling, it came off of eBay. No, Amazon. Everything on this car is off from Amazon. The only thing bought from eBay was the cheap G-Force. No, I take that back. Some parts were from Amazon. Some parts were from Amazon and eBay. Excuse me, I was tongue tied. Amazon and eBay. This car was built off Amazon and eBay. The only expensive part on this car is the cam and valve springs. That's it. Cam and valve springs the only expensive thing on this car. Everything else is cheap. I didn't have a chance to shop on Temu, which I've been hearing, you know, good things about Temu. A lot of people building budget bills off of Temu. I didn't get a chance to do that, but if somebody comes along and buys this setup out of this car, I might do the Temu route. Might just buy everything front to back, build it, and let's just see what the price difference is from Temu, from Amazon, and from eBay. But yeah, you guys, there you have it, man. If you know how to shop, you got some good friends that want to see you out riding with them, having a good time. Amazon and eBay, the way to go on a budget build. You know, if you like that fancy shit, hey, more power to you. I just threw something together to get something running. Yeah, it has the, oh yeah, by the way, it has cheap eBay head studs, some 7-layer $35 gaskets. So I'm gonna drop some pictures of some parts that I have in the car right now in this video, so you guys can see I'm very transparent with this build. And, you know, just hoping I can motivate somebody that, you know, wants to do a budget swap and they don't really have, you know, the funds to dump 10, 12,000 in a Gbody to get up and running, because, you know, that's what we're always told. It costs 12, 13,000 to swap. Not all the time. If you want it done right, yeah, but if you're mechanically inclined, you can do it. You can do it yourself, man. So there you have it, man. The $5,000 LS swap budget, front to back, everything in this motor, plus the stuff that was given to me, and everything else, man. So it's Taco 9. I'll catch y'all in the next video, brother. We out. Peace.